And Dayna, we can't thank you enough for your willingness to be here. And with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Megan and Janelle. I'm very happy to be here. Yeah, we were talking this morning, when we were logging on that, these Zoom type of meetings, they take a lot of bandwidth. And so, I'm going to share my webcam in the very beginning just to say hi so you all can see what I look like, make sure I don't have a third eye on my forehead or anything like that. And then as we get started, I'll probably turn my camera off just to preserve bandwidth and make sure that you all can hear me okay. But thank you for the introduction. I have been in dentistry for, 30 years now. I was just thinking of that because my daughter is going to be 30 this year. And so it's like I started in dentistry when she was born and then, just bloomed into becoming a Dentrix user when I integrated it into my own practice in 2003. So I've spent years and years creating better workflows and better systems and processes so my dental teams can, save time, save money, be more profitable, be more productive, be more efficient. And, that's just what I do 24/7. So happy to be here. And so our topic today, of course, is how do we integrate membership plans into our practice management software, specifically today on Dentrix. So for today, the main things we're going to be looking at when I start sharing my software is we're going to look at, okay, how do we set it up in our Dentrix software? There's different ways we can do that. What I do find with membership plans is that not everybody does things the same way. And I find that some practices want to do it in a very basic way, and some offices want to do it in a more comprehensive way. Now, the offices that want to do the setup a little bit more in-depth, more comprehensive, then that's how we can get like ROI analysis. That's how we could start running some reports in our Dentrix software. And so you can filter your patients and you can search out different parameters. You can look at patient retention based on the membership patients. You can look at case acceptance, depending on if they're on the membership or not. And so we're going to look at different ways to set that up in your Dentrix software. Now, if you have questions, I love to answer questions as we go along. So if you have a question, I know that Megan and Janelle will be monitoring the Q&A. So if you have a question and it's relevant to, what I'm talking about right now, then please raise your hand or put your question in the Q&A section or the chat box. I know they probably are monitoring both the chat and the Q&A.
Yep.
So please ask your question as we go along, because I think it's really helpful that I can dive into your question as we're here, because you might not be the only person that has that question on their mind. And so please ask questions as we go. We don't have to wait until the end to do that. I like for this to be very conversational and, ask me my opinion about different setup things, because I work with hundreds of offices throughout the year, and I see memberships being set up all different ways. And, so if you're looking for a specific type of report or something like that, then please reach out and ask your question as we're going along today. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my Dentrix software, and I'm also going to turn my camera off just to preserve the bandwidth. All right, so let me switch over here. And all right, everyone. So just so you are aware, I am recording this. So as of today, if you're watching this on demand and you're like, what version of Dentrix is she on anyway? Well, I'm on version 7.8. So if you are on a earlier version, some of the screenshots may look different just depending on what version of Dentrix you are on. I am also on a tutor database. And so every time I update my software, they download a brand new tutor database for me. So I don't have a lot of data like you do. I probably have 35 patients in my database. So the amount of information that I will get on some of the reports I'm going to show you is very minimal. And so I just want you guys to be aware that I'm on a tutor database, a sample database, and also I'm on version 7.8. Okay, so as we kind of go through the options for setting up your Dentrix software to kind of go along with your membership plan, I kind of call it, if you get the tip sheet, I call it, there's the baseline setup and there's the optimum setup. And so I'm gonna just run through the baseline setup with you first. So the baseline setup would be that you post a membership plan or post your hygiene procedures, you know, just like you normally would, and then you adjust them off, because when you are part of the Plan Forward membership, it usually correlates to your hygiene plan, your hygiene. So most offices, when they get set up with a membership plan, is that they have usually like an adult plan, a child plan, a perio plan, and maybe a family plan. And so if you want to just do baseline, so you want to keep all the revenue and the payments and everything that just stacks up in the Plan Forward portal. Everything just stays in the Plan Forward portal. Plan Forward manages the renewal dates. Plan Forward, you know, you'll find all the payments in the Plan Forward portal. That all just stays there. And the only thing that you would do in Dentrix in the baseline setup is create an adjustment type. So if you are doing baseline, you would just need to go into your definitions and create an adjustment type for your membership plan. That's like the only thing that you need to do. What this adjustment type would do is that you post out your hygiene and you adjust it off. Or you post out restorative and you adjust off the percentage that you're giving to your membership plan patients. So if you're giving a 15% discount or a 20% discount on restorative, you will need an adjustment type in order to make those adjustments on the ledger. If you need to add a new membership plan adjustment, all you have to do is come here into the practice definitions, enter in how you want to call your adjustment. Just call it membership plan or Plan Forward, loyalty plan, or whatever the name is that you want the patient to see on their statement or their ledger. That would show up on the line item for that. You just put in what you want to call it and click add. And then it will just add it to the list. Super simple. That's all you need to do if you're going to do it like baseline setup. Now, I would think that there's a lot of people on with us today that want to be able to track reports. You want to be able to get some kind of ROI analysis, and you were probably a little bit more motivated to keep track of things a little bit more comprehensively in your Dentrix software. Now, of course, this takes a little bit more work, but I feel if you want any kind of analysis that you will want to do this additional type of setup. So I'm going to run through kind of those setup things. This also will match that tip sheet that Janelle or Megan can send out to all of you after the webinar today. This kind of just mimics that tip sheet that I created for membership plans. Now, one thing in Dentrix is that we can track patients based on what's called a billing type. Okay, let me just show you on a family file here. You can see the billing type is located, you can see it on the family file, and there is their billing type here. And most of your patients are probably in the standard billing, where you are putting them in that bucket of just your standard patient. Okay. Billing types is a way that you can put patients in a bucket. Okay, so you might have patients in an ortho bucket, or if you take Medicaid, it might be a Medicaid bucket. It's just a way that you can filter reports. So if you want to create a billing type, go back to your definitions, and then we're going to go here to billing types. And you can see here, I've created a membership plan billing type. I also have an ortho billing type, a Medicaid billing type, my friends and family billing type. If I've sent off a patient to collection, I also have a collection billing type. So billing types is a way that you can put your patients into a bucket. Okay. And then we also we already have our adjustment type that we created with the baseline setup. Now you'll also make sure that you already have that adjustment type there. In addition to writing off the hygiene, you may want to adjust off what the membership plan service charges for a maintenance fee or the merchant fee. I know that I'm not sure how the plan forward system works. I think Megan said that you deposit a gross payment amount into the practice statement, and then the merchant fee is just like an administrative fee.
Yes. So the way it works with Plan Forward is they get gross deposits next day funding. So they're going to be getting all of these gross deposits throughout the month. Then on the first of the following month, their business credit card is charged for Plan Forward fees. So there's that expense on their credit card. And then the merchant processor does one batch withdrawal for all the processing fees for the previous month. So it's two kind of line item expenses, one on their credit card, one on the ACH withdrawal for the processing.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. And so you have the adjustment type, perfect. So you have adjustment type, you have your billing type. Now we're all still talking here about now we're in the Optimum setup, okay? So the billing type is part of that Optimum setup. Then also in the Optimum setup, you would want to be posting those membership plan procedure codes to the patient's ledger. So in the Optimum setup, we would want to create some procedure codes. This will give your team the option of showing the membership plan on the ledger. So I've just got 3 set up here. I have the membership plan adult, where I have my in-office fake ADA code. Make sure you check do not bill to dental insurance. Whatever your price is for that membership plan adult, that would be like your healthy adult pro fees. And then also make sure that you've set the treatment area to mouth, so it doesn't ask you for a tooth number or a quadrant. That could get a little annoying if you were posting it and it was asking you for a tooth number. So I've created a membership plan adult, child, and perio. And if you have a family plan, you could have maybe you have a 4th one that's a family plan. So we would post those membership plan charges to the ledger, and then we would also post the payment, the membership plan payment, so that the ledger would show that you've billed the patient out for the membership plan, and then it would show the payment on the ledger as well. So those are those are pieces of the like Optimum plan. Once you have the billing type, the adjustment type, and the procedure code all set up, then you can start like applying it to your patients. Now, I believe that Plan Forward, you all manage all of the renewal dates, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, great. So in your Dentrix software, you don't necessarily need to set up a renewal date. However, if you did want to do that on your own, you can use continuing care as a renewal type of system. So you can create a continuing care setup for your membership. So you could create a membership and set it on like a 1 year setup, a 1 year renewal. So if you attach that continuing care to the membership code, then in Dentrix, you'd also be able to run a list of patients that are due to renew, and then that should match up to your Plan Forward list. Also, they're going to be managing your renewals, so you don't really have to do anything. But if you wanted to at least get a list of patients that have an upcoming renewal, you certainly can do that in your Dentrix software. Okay, so now once you have the setup completed, now we can start like applying the setup to your patients. So I'm going to go to my patient's family file. Now I'm going to remove this patient's insurance because we do know that most patients that are doing a renewal or a membership plan do not have insurance. So we're applying these to our cash patients. So once we get to the family file, then we can apply the billing type. We can say this patient, this family is on our membership. Now, one thing to remember about billing types is that the billing type is applied to the entire family. And so if you have, one patient that's on the membership and one patient that's not, you could potentially separate them into 2 separate family files if you want the reports to be a little bit more accurate. But I do believe billing types is a really great way for running reports to get those reports on your membership plan patients. Now, another thing I didn't talk about was creating a fee schedule. I have a lot of offices that create a fee schedule for their membership plan restorative. So if you give a flat 20% off on all restorative, you could definitely create a fee schedule. I'm going to put you on hold for one quick second. Sorry about that. There you go.
No problem.
Like I said, I'm at my daughter's apartment, and she just walked in and said that we had the furniture mission accomplished. So oh, I love live Zoom.
Live Zooms.
I know.
It makes it more human.
It does, for sure. And Janelle, she knows my daughter, so we all know that she's a little quirky.
Dayna is the queen of multitasking, so you've got it down.
The one thing that if you do want to create a fee schedule, I'm going to go through that with you right now. You can go to back to your office manager, and the easiest way to create a fee schedule for your membership plan is to go here into the fee schedule maintenance. So let's say that you give the patients like a flat 15 or 20% discount on all restorative. What you can do is you can create a new fee schedule, and you can copy from your full office fee first. And I'm just going to call this member. So first of all, I get this membership plan fee schedule, and I'm just going to save this first. And then what I can do is I can go back into this membership plan fee schedule, go in here to, not that, go back into auto changes. And then I can reduce this by 20%, decrease by 20%. I'm going to round to the nearest dollar, okay? And then what it will do is it'll take my full fee, my office fees, reduce it by 20%, and now I automatically, very easily, I have a membership plan fee schedule, because it's now my office fees minus 20%. Super easy to do. So if you want your treatment plan estimates to come out a little bit more accurately, well, a lot more accurately. If you want your treatment plan estimates to be accurate, if you want your patient ledgers to reflect your discounted fee for the membership plan patients, then we can attach a fee schedule. I can attach my membership plan fee schedule to the patient. Let's see, let me refresh that. I might have to reopen my family file, but anytime a patient does not have insurance and you want to give them a different fee schedule, then you're going to attach it here to the patient and not to an insurance plan, because this patient doesn't have an insurance plan to apply to. All right, so we have our billing type. We have a fee schedule attached to this patient. Now, some offices like to maybe put other notes about that they have this patient is on a membership plan. I mean, you could use the patient notes, because that does show up on the route slip. You can also see that they do have a fee schedule, so that also kind of trips you off that they are on the membership plan fee schedule or membership plan. I'm just going to reopen the family file and
Dayna, I have a question actually while you're reopening, if that's okay.
yeah, absolutely.
When you use the fee schedule that matches your membership plan for restorative, when you create a treatment plan and present it to the patient, does it reflect your standard fee and also the reduced fee, or show that discount anywhere?
So what you can do is, see, now you can kind of see that they're on the membership fee schedule. Kind of just gives you a little bit of a visual that they are part of the membership, but then you also have the billing type. So to answer your question about treatment planning, so if I go to the patient chart, and let's say I'm going to treatment plan a crown for this patient. And so I'm going to treatment plan. Let's see if I have what's this one? Crown. Okay, I'm just going to treatment plan that on to number 30. So one thing that you can do when you are showing the patient a treatment plan estimate is that you can, I wish this would go away here. Oh, shoot. Sometimes I get these smart image errors. Yeah. I know. I'm just going to sit here and let it go away. It should go away on its own. Well, let me I'll open up the treatment planner. That might hide it.
Can you move it?
I'm going to, oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Now it went away. So on the treatment plan, what you can do is, let me show you other fee. Oh, that didn't do it. Okay, let me show you. If you print the estimate for the patient, you can compare it to the office fee.
Yep.
Let me just show you what that looks like on the patient's estimate. Let me blow that up a little bit. So you'll be able to see here that the patient's fee is $825 for the Crown because they're on the membership plan, but the office fee is $1,031.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
Something we always try to help our practices do is show the patient the office fee to consistently reinforce the value of the membership plan. So sometimes when that office fee is not there, patients kind of lose sight of the value of what they're paying for.
Exactly, exactly. So this is a really great way. It's kind of like if you were a PPO office and you were showing the patient the PPO fee compared to the office fee. So the patient can see, hey, you know, you're getting a pretty significant discount for being in that insurance plan. Just like if you are a cash patient, because you're on our membership plan, you get a pretty significant discount on your restorative. So the fee for your Crown is $825. If you were not on our membership, it might also be a really good way to sell your membership.
Right.
Because you could, you know, you could flip it, Oh, let me show you this. You could flip it to, like, let's say you have a patient, let me see if I'll do Rochelle Johnson here. So let's say, oh, that's the same family. I need a different family. So let's say you've got Sally Hayes here. Sally has no insurance and let me just put her on standard. And let's say Sally is a cash patient. She's not on the membership plan yet, and she needs a Crown. So if I go in and treatment plan her a Crown, this is also a really good way to sell the membership because you can show the patient the benefit of the fee savings. So I could say, okay, this patient needs a Crown. I'm going to treatment plan that. And when I go, come on, that little error thing goes away. When I go to show her, if I compare it to the membership now, instead of the office, I'm flipping it. Then you can see that the full fee is $31, but if you were a member, it would only be $825.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's
great. Isn't that? Yeah, that's cool, huh?
That's very cool.
Yeah. So then I was going to say,
great
well,
way, like you said, to
I want
drive.
to join the membership because I'm going to save that amount. So then also a really great way to get patients to see the value of being on the membership plan and probably help her, because what we find is that case acceptance for cash patients goes up significantly when they see the value of being part of the membership plan.
Absolutely. The data consistently shows that.
Exactly.
What about you might be covering this, or maybe I'm having you go back to something you've already covered, but when your patient comes in for their recall and they're getting their preventive care services that are included in that membership payment, and you posted those services to the ledger, or if you're doing the Optimum setup, you have that and you've already done the fee schedule. Do they see the full standard fee at that recall, even though you're technically not collecting anything at that appointment?
They can, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they definitely can. So, when I set up that fee schedule, what most offices will do is just take the discount on the restorative, but keep that hygiene procedures, the full office fee.
Yes, and then use the adjustment type that you created for membership plan and adjust
Yes.
out the full amount.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that actually, because then you're not inflating your adjustments
Right.
by using that same adjustment type for the restorative stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So most offices will keep the hygiene procedures the same fee as the office, because then when you set it complete and you are adjusting it off the ledger, then yeah, it's doesn't, then the patient can see the value of the adjustment.
Yep, I love that.
Yeah. So if we go back, like the office fees for, let's say, and I did it when I created that membership plan fee schedule, I did the whole list of ADA codes. But when you do this auto changes, what you can do, and I probably should have showed you this, is you can start with, let's just say I want to start with the restorative.
Okay.
And I only want to go through oral surgery. I don't want to discount my, say I don't want to discount my ortho. I could go through the end of oral surgery and say, I just want to go from $2,140 to $7,999 and reduce that by, 20%.
20%. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So actually some practices, don't give a flat percent across the board, or they'll exclude major, cosmetic stuff because they don't have enough margin in their standard fee. So this way, you're saying you can start with the flat rate and then kind of go into those things that are either excluded or a different percentage and kind of adjust as needed.
Yeah, absolutely. You can also just go in and just go into this screen, which is just the edit screen, and just change each code individually.
Okay. Yep. Perfect.
If you don't want to do an across the board reduction, you can just go into each code individually if you wanted to, and just change each code individually.
Okay. So I guess the moral to this story is all the services that are included in your membership plan for no additional out of pocket should remain at your office fee. So your full standard fee. Everything else that's reduced goes on the fee schedule and you don't use the adjustment type.
That's correct. That would be ideal.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So then, if a patient comes in who is on the membership plan and they're coming in for their regular exam and prophy and bite wings, we'll schedule them with the hygienist. And so if I set that complete, I can change the exam here to the doctor before I set it complete onto the ledger so that the doctor gets credit for the exam. And then on the ledger, then now you can use your adjustment code and adjust off the
total amount.
Procedures. You can adjust off the hygiene procedures using your membership plan adjustment.
Does it total it for you? What like that total for the day is?
Yeah, it gives you the total for the day, which is total for the charges today was 152, and looks like the patient had, oh, I must have been doing some playing around on this account.
Oh, I see it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if I was going to adjust off, I'm going to adjust off 283 just as an example here. But then it will adjust off, part of this goes to the hygienist and part of this goes to the doctor. Because I have my system set up to split. Not every office does it that way. And so then you can, print the patient a discount or print the patient a receipt or however you want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are a few different reports that you can generate out of Dentrix to show ROI or to show, you know, a list of patients that are on the membership. If you want to look up unscheduled treatment, if you want to look up unscheduled treatment, then the treatment manager is my favorite report in Dentrix. It is one of the most effective ways of filling your doctor's schedule. And the thing about this list, you know, now that if you are using like the Optimum setup, you can filter by billing type. So you could say, okay, find me all the patients that are on the membership plan that I can search and see, you know, what unscheduled treatment they have. Are they scheduled? Are they not scheduled? You can also, you know, not filter by the membership and get a whole list of all your patients that have unscheduled treatment. I always like to put in a date on this report. So you can search for anything that's been treatment planned in the last, you know, month or in the last 6 months. You can find, so you can search, you know, follow back up with patients that are not scheduled, see if they're scheduled for their next hygiene visit, see if they're scheduled for any of the restorative. I always like to put in a date there just so that you're searching for things that are very recent. You know, you're not looking back on treatment that might have been treatment planned, you know, 3 or 4 years ago.
And is this going to default to only active patients?
Yeah, because right here, I only selected patient.
Okay.
Right in the middle there, you've got patient, non-patient, and inactive. I always only search for patients only.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I always also leave this at all. I think you can leave that at all. Minimum treatment total, I think maybe they make you put in a dollar amount there. You could also search by procedure code if you were trying to find all the patients that maybe you've treatment planned ortho for, or maybe you're looking for all your patients that have a crown on their treatment plan, or maybe you're trying to fill hygiene and you're looking for patients that have scaling and root planing in their treatment plan. So that's an option as well. You can filter by code.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and no, it must be under here. And so this report is kind of like an Excel spreadsheet. And what I like about this report is it's very interactive. So once you highlight a patient here, then you can go to their ledger, you can go to their patient chart, see what's on their treatment plan. Let me go through a little bit farther date here. Let me go through today, so we can get a little bit more information on there. So we've got, you can also include on the setup, you can also include more information. So maybe I do want to include my billing type on there because I want to see if they're on the membership plan. So I could move this up to right next to their name. So I can see, okay, the patient, are they on the billing? Are they on the membership plan? Are they not? I can see their next appointment. So now I can see I've got, this is my patient that's on the billing type 3. So that's my membership plan. All these other patients are just a 1. So they're probably, you know, either insurance patients or they are not yet on the membership plan. So it's really nice to have that Optimum setup in your Dentrix software because it really kind of narrows down the patient demographics. It gives you a lot more information about the patient, what billing type are they on, and just kind of gives you a lot more data to search by.
Yep.
The column I like the best in this report here is this next appointment column. So when you run this report and you resort this next appointment column, then it's going to float everybody up to the top that has no appointment for anything. So if they are not even scheduled for their recare visit, then they wouldn't have a date in that next appointment column. So those are usually the patients that I really focus on, and try and get those patients not only scheduled for treatment, but also try and get them scheduled for their next recare visit. And then if I was going to call this patient, I love the office journal. I always use the office journal for making notes. So I would, open up my journal and I would say that, I'm Judy here calling this patient. Spoke to patient out of town, call back, in January, or something like that. Make a note in the journal so that and your other team members know that I already called this patient about their unscheduled treatment. And then if the patient wants me to call them back in January, I could make myself a reminder in January. So I could say, I'll just do it January 10th, 2023. Let me put 2023 in there.
Already.
It's gonna be me as the manager here. Call about unscheduled treatment. So I could put a reminder also on this patient's office journal, which will give me a reminder of when to call that patient. So if I refresh this, then you'll see these office journal notes and my reminder there. So that's a really good way to communicate with your team that you have followed up with this patient, that you have a reminder there that we need to call this patient back. And now you can just move on to the next patient. You can open up her patient chart and see, what's on her treatment plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just a really great report for finding patients that have unscheduled treatment.
So can you touch on, I know you kind of listed a couple of reports that people usually use, like the ROI, list of members, unscheduled treatment. Can we go back to the ROI and which reports you recommend based on this setup, so you can actually do an analysis of if your plan is working?
Exactly. So there's a couple reports that I love for looking up, like patient retention, case acceptance. And one of those reports that I love is called the Practice Advisor. Okay. So the Practice Advisor is I always recommend that offices look at the Practice Advisor as on a monthly basis. And so this report, you can also filter by billing type. So let's say that you only want to look at this report based on all your membership plan patients. So it's going to give you ROI like retention rate, case acceptance, production, collections, accounts receivable, all that kind of stuff just on your list of membership plan patients. So really great ROI report for giving you that information about, probably the big ones is case acceptance and patient retention, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We actually have someone who raised their hand.
Yeah.
Paula. Let's see, Paula, if you have a microphone, you can use it, or you can chat your question in the Q&A or the chat.
Great.
Let's see here. Paula, can you hear us?
She's muted, so she would have to unmute.
We'll give her a sec to maybe type her question out.
Okay, yeah. So while she's typing up her question, another report that I really like is the provider AR totals report.
Okay.
One of the questions I get often about membership plans is, how can I track my individual providers' production, adjustments, and payments?
Yep.
So a lot of times you have providers that are being paid on production or being paid on collections.
Mhm.
So the provider AR totals report is a really great report for tracking your all your production, all your collections, your accounts receivable, and any net production, net collections.
Wow.
So in this report, it's important that your membership plan adjustment type is on the right side of the coin. So if you have providers that are being paid on production, then I would keep the membership plan adjustment on the production side. If you have providers that are getting paid on collections, then you may want to move this membership plan adjustment over onto the collection side, because it will make a difference as to how it reports the net production and the net collections. So if we look at the membership plan, oh, did I do something?
Yeah, it looks like we stopped
Stop
sharing.
sharing.
Oh gosh, I know, I'm like, what just happened?
Technology today.
Oh, let's see. Oh, here we go. There we go, back on it. So if we, oh, let me just show you what that report looks like. I'm just gonna put in a pretty big date range just because of the amount of data that I have.
Okay.
And let us know when you're ready for Paula's question. She posted it in the Q&A.
Okay, yeah, so the provider AR totals report shows you all your providers. It shows your providers' accounts receivable. It shows their gross production, any adjustments to production, their gross collections, any adjustments to collections like patient refunds, insurance refunds, you know, any kind of transfer allocations. Those are all on the collection side. And then it shows your net collections. All other adjustments like insurance adjustments, professional courtesy, anything like that should all be on the production side. So then it would show your net production. So this report is also a really good, kind of a good ROI for the providers to see that what their production is, what their net production is, things like that. All right, what does Paula have for a question?
She wants to know, can you change the color on the ledger for different codes for the membership plan?
So we can kind of customize the ledger colors. So if you go here to your ledger colors, now we can't specify individual adjustment types, but you can change your adjustment colors. Like if it's a charge adjustment, which is a positive adjustment, or a credit adjustment, which is a negative adjustment, you can change the colors for your adjustments. So let's say you want your credit adjustments to be, you know, this dark red color, then you could do that. Then they would look like they would be that kind of color, but all your credit adjustments are going to be that color, not just your membership plan.
Kind of along those lines, Dayna, can you are there like little icons that show up on the schedule for each patient, so you can assign an icon for a specific billing type? So anyone with billing type member would also have a little icon on the calendar, so you can just get a quick glance.
Let's see. So can we put anything billing type? It doesn't look like it's in the view, but it might be in the hover. Let's see. No, it
No?
doesn't.
Okay.
Let me see if in the hover. It doesn't look like the billing type is part of the
Okay.
schedule.
Okay. Do you ever recommend creating an insurance type of membership plan and still doing the same, as opposed to the billing type, and still
So
doing the same adjustment type and fee schedule?
I have had offices use an insurance plan in their system because the reason they liked having an insurance plan was because then they could see it on the route slip.
Yeah.
And an insurance plan will also show up in the hover as well.
Yep. And I think I saw you can create an icon on the schedule for a specific insurance.
I don't think we have an icon for it.
There isn't? Okay.
But you could also, let's see, I think you can also put the, let's see if the insurance plan is part of the. Oh yeah, primary
insurance.
So you could, if you created an insurance plan for the membership, then you would be able to see it on the schedule on the appointment. You would also be able to see it on the hover, and you'd also be able to see it on the route slip. Now, there's pros and cons to that, of course. If you add an insurance plan to the family file, then it will throw off your number of insured patients. So
good call.
Because Dentrix doesn't know that it's just a membership plan. They see it as an insurance plan. So if you add an insurance plan as for the membership, it does throw off your number of insured patients if in your practice statistics.
Good point.
Yeah, yeah. But that's just something that you would have to decide on as a group.
When I was in the practice, we were able to put an icon on our schedule, which would be simple from just confirming that your membership patients are active and their payments are current. So, when I'm looking ahead a couple days, I can quickly see, oh, I have 3 membership patients coming in tomorrow, jump in the membership software, kind of like your online eligibility, for Delta or whatever, and just confirm that they're active so that that they, that they're eligible.
Yeah, great. All right, perfect. Well, I'm going to just jump back on over to just show you guys a little bit of how to get a hold of me here. If you want to reach out to me personally, if you have questions, that QR code will direct you right over to my page where you can email me directly or just get more of my resources I write a blog, I have a webinar, I have a podcast, all kinds of things. And then if you are interested, I have a full course on membership plans, dives into a lot more about if you have like monthly subscription patients, and because that's a little bit more in depth. And so we have a membership plan course that dives a lot deeper into setting up membership plans in Dentrix, and where you can kind of match up those monthly membership plan patients. There's a promo code that you guys can use if you want to add an additional team member to the membership. So that's a really nice thing that you guys can do. And then I think that you had a kind of a final slide as well, Megan, that you wanted to.
We do. Yep.
Okay,
Dana, we will make sure that all this information is in the follow-up email that we send out.
Great. Yeah.
So we'll make sure they know how to contact you, make sure your company information and your membership course information is on there. And we seriously cannot thank you enough for sharing
Oh,
all of
yeah.
your knowledge with us.
Well,
from a
thank
plan-
you. I appreciate it.
Also, everyone, thank you for joining our upcoming events. Next month, we will have Tia Hunter. She is a compliance specialist. So the topic is Plan Forward for Best Practices in Documentation and Sterilization. That's sure to be a hit. She was a hit at the ADOM convention with her booth.
Oh, for sure. She was.
She was. And then in November, we have Lynn Leggett, who will be here to talk about how to plan forward for change management. So links to register for those webinars will also be in the follow-up email.
Perfect.